on now through May 31st, you can receive 2 years of complimentary prepaid maintenance and special financing available through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services. Only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. You've waited long enough.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on certified pre-owned warranties.
You're listening to Just Ask Joyce on WFIA, The Spirit.
Thank you so much for joining me today. We're just offering you some encouragement about homeschooling, if that is one of your options today. And guys, that you call in if you're a homeschooler or if you've been homeschooled. 571-2428, 571-CHAT, and encourage some parents. I know that some of you are teeter-tottering on this idea of what am I going to do? Because, President Obama has sent this directive now to the public school systems saying you will open your bathrooms and your locker rooms to transgender. If, a boy decides that he feels like a girl that day, he can go in the girls' restroom and vice versa. So we know that there are people, and Webby and I talked about that on the show the other day, that there are people that, will likely bully themselves into that bathroom. I mean, some of the bullies will seize opportunities to really, kind of mess up the plan here. And I understand. And one listener texted and said she couldn't call in, but she says, Joyce, a few parents didn't want their transgender children being bullied in the bathrooms and stood up for their kids. Can the straight kids who are being bullied seek refuge and use the opposite sex restroom for their protection too? No, probably not. Doesn't work that way, does it? Because if it's all about protecting your kids from being bullied in the bathroom, then my goodness, there will be a huge influx of the opposite sex into your child's bathroom, because far more straight kids get bullied in the bathroom than there are transgendered kids total. And that's true. And bullying is nothing new under the sun, is it? Because we've had some programs about that as well. And I know maybe your child is one who has been bullied. And so what protection is there for those? And I know that there are some laws in place in every school system. In every state, they have laws in place for the schools to govern bullies and how they're supposed to act and respond to those. But have you ever seen a mandate come down from the White House for the protection of these kids? No. And this is a minuscule minority. I'm talking a minuscule minority. And someone gave the percentage the other day, and it was just so minimal. I can't even remember it. It was far, far, far less than even 1%. It was incredible. And so this is, now what are we going to do? What alternative are we going to do? Or maybe you've already just settled into the fact that, hey, it's the government and we have to bow down to the government and whatever they say. Do we have to bow down to the government? Daniel didn't. And Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego did not bow down to, when they said you're going to worship other gods. Well, have we kind of put this sexuality thing as another god in our country? I believe sex has been a god that we have worshipped for quite some time. And now, they're trying to shove this into down the throats of our kids. And so that when they are adults, hey, it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. Everything, whatever we want, whatever feels good is just going to be the way it's going to be. And so they are, they can't change the adults' minds. They will change it through the kids. And that's exactly what is happening here. Now, someone texted me and said, Joyce, can you give the information again that Sue Ellen was offering? And I will be happy to do that. What she was talking about is the homeschool fair and book swap. And it is going to be at Southeast Christian Church. Hold on here. It's going to be at, Okay, she said the entrance 5 of Southeast, if you will go there. So it's going to be on one of their ball fields in the picnic area right there. And of course, Southeast Christian Church, it's the Blankenbaker location, all right, the main campus there. It's going to be from 10 until 3 p.m., and that is on the 27th of May. So that's coming up very soon. And many things are sneaking up on us these days, are they not? So that's May the 27th, and you will need, that's a Friday, you will need to be there for that. And of course, again, she said that there would be curriculum that you can pick up that, has already been used by some homeschooling parents. But you could also go and just find out information about homeschooling if you want to. And I'm sure that they are going to be there to help you in any way and maybe lead you into, what curriculum would be best for me. I've just started homeschooling. I don't know where to begin. So what curriculum is best, and what better people to talk about it than Sue Ellen Barnes and her husband, who have been a part of this, and they're even on the board of the Home for His Glory group. So that would be an opportunity for you to go and just find out, just what are my options, and is it something I really, really want to get into or not? Because homeschooling's not for everybody. It just isn't. And of course, again, we had Sayers on. If you missed that podcast, if you missed that broadcast, you should go back and listen to the podcast, because he was talking about if you wanted to homeschool for a couple of days and then maybe send your homeschool kids to them for, say, 3 days or 2 days, then that's an option for you. There are ways and means to get around this edict that has been passed down to us from President Obama. And it just is a matter of, what am I personally going to do with it? And it is an individual decision. And, you can talk to your kids in the home and say, again, we also gave you the option of the medical emergency, and I need to go back and figure that out, what he said, but you can ask your doctor for that excuse, so that your kids can give it to their teachers, and they can go to the restrooms during class time anytime they want. They don't have to go and they will go to a private restroom. They'll go to like the counselor's office or even, some school administrator's office. So there will be a private restroom they will go where there's only one toilet, only one sink, and one door. And so it will be for them. I would encourage you to go to and get those. Just inundate the teachers and the principals with these kinds of situations. And just, if you don't want to entertain the idea of homeschooling, if you don't want to entertain the idea of a parochial school because maybe it's not in your budget, although I will tell you that sometimes they have scholarships and you should look into that. But, if these are not alternatives for you, then go to your doctor. You've been paying him a lot of money. Tell him you want one of those excuses for your child to go and make sure that he can, go to the restroom anytime he wants to, and it will be a private restroom, right? He or she, right? So if you don't do that, then you've missed the boat. You've really missed the boat. If you object to this mandate in any form or fashion, that is what you can do. It might cost you a doctor's visit. Big deal. Big deal. If you got a bunch of kids, make it one doctor's visit and get one for every one of them. Get the bang out of your buck right there. We'll be back. If you have a comment or question, 571-2428. We'll close out this hour of Just Ask Joyce.
WFIA, The Spirit.
It's like the rebirth the world feels during spring. The new life when there was none, and the hope of real growth and wonder. Like the kind of wonder of joining Alistair Begg on a magnificent Mediterranean journey.
Have you ever wondered what it would have been like to travel the dynamic missionary journeys of the Apostle Paul, to see for yourself the sights of the early Christian church? This is Alistair Begg, inviting you to join me this fall on the footsteps of the Apostles' Mediterranean cruise. Together, we'll encounter the sights of the early church like never before, with wonderful stops in Rome, Naples, Jerusalem, Athens, and more.
It's an unforgettable 15 days on 2 continents, sailing on one of the newest cruise ships, the beautiful Silhouette.
And we'll experience the magnificent Sistine Chapel, the historic Western Wall in Jerusalem, the beautiful Greek island of Santorini, and much more in luxurious accommodations over the pristine waters of the Mediterranean.
Get more information at WFIAFM.com and click on the Footsteps of the Apostles banner.
Dad, I'm really afraid of what's happening with the economy. There's too much civil unrest, too much terrorism, and unstable global markets. I'm tired of riding the ups and downs of the market. It reminds me of 2008. I was caught off guard then. How do I prepare for the worst now? What'll I do if the dollar collapses?
You gotta stop worrying, son, and take action. It's time to think about a precious metals private storage IRA or an investment in silver with the Gold Silver Group. Like I said before, you insure your house, your car, your kids, and your life. Don't you think it's time to insure your wealth?
Call Gold Silver Group at 800-943-0829. Learn how easy it is to set up your own precious metals private storage IRA and how you can qualify for up to $700 in free silver. Gold Silver Group can satisfy any of your precious metals investment needs. Receive your gold and silver fully insured and privately delivered to your door. Call Gold Silver Group, 800-943-0829. 800-943-0829. You're listening to Just Ask Joyce on WFIA, The Spirit.
Thank you so much for joining me today. It's my pleasure to bring you information, things that inform, educate, and prepare you for life. Don't you like that? I would just ask you to keep this family in your prayers. And can I just straighten out something that many of you have asked me about, and I should have clarified it that day. I will be attending the funeral services of this young lady that, I spoke of the other day, who had a drug addiction and did not make it. She OD'd. I will be attending that service, and I will be offering a eulogy on her behalf. And I'd ask you to keep me in your prayers, because that's going to be a tough one for me to do that. But it is not Rose. All right. So many of you ask about that, and so many of you have become so endeared to her. It is not Rose. And, so you just keep Rose in your prayers, because, many of us who have been down that path, I have not, thank goodness, but many people who have been down that path